Just stress pa si sir. Buti na lang bumalik yung internet connection natin, no? Ayun, kamusta naman? How are you, my dear students? Kamusta? How are you so far? Kamusta yung mga progress natin dyan? Ano yung mga kinakaabalahan natin dyan? May mga glow-up activities ba tayo dyan? Blessa? Elfriend?
Wala po, sir.
Wala. Ano lang, like sa bahay lang kayo most of the time?
Hindi, sir. Driver ako ng father ko ngayon.
Okay. How about the others? Dave, kamusta? Ano yung mga kinakabisihan natin dyan?
Wala, sir. Okay lang, sir. Like, hobbies lang, sir. Like, books and stuff lang, sir.
Books and stuff. Oh, this is my current PBR right now. Look at this. My goal is to finish one self-help book per day, and I'm now in my fourth one. It's The Strength in Our Stars by The Strength in Our Scars by Bianca Sparacino. Sa Shopee kasi maraming mga mura na books. Oh, that's nice. Anong pangalan ng book?
Ano, sir? Norwegian Wood, sir, by Haruki Murakami.
Oh, I see. After this, I'll be reading Power by Robin, ano yung name ng
Ay, sir,
author?
meron din ako, sir. Pero
Yeah, I will be reading that one by Robert Greene. Yan. So, basa kayo books, guys. Nakaka-help siya, no? And ito yung aking, this is my child, my only child. This is my inner child speaking to me, no? So, as psych, diba, our childhood is a really big impact daw sa personality daw natin. So, ayun, nandito na ako na part ng page and I annotate really. So, mag-annotate kayo, mag-highlight kayo. Minsan naglalagay ako ng yung mga realizations ba? Ikaw ba, Dave? Do you also annotate ba? Like, do you highlight?
Ano, sir? Depende sa book, sir. Usually, sir, kay pencil lang ginabot na kay like masayangan ko sa book.
Sa print, no?
Oh,
Ako,
yes, sir.
ako talaga mas na-appreciate ko yung mga physical copies rather than the Kindle or yung mga PDFs. Mas naa siya fulfillment pagka na makahuman ng book, no? Oo. So, basa kayo. Kay ako mong good, I want to be more consistent. So, punta lang ako sa mga books na makaya ko na matapos. Like, yung mga maninipis lang before I go to the sobrang kapal na mga books. So, nakakatulong din siya sa practice and sa inyo din, sa growth ninyo, maturity din ninyo, no? Reading helps din at the same time sa vocabulary, sa inyuhang wisdom po, no? Maka-add up po siya sa wisdom. No, di ba, Dave, na? What does reading help you ba? Ano bang mga benefits sa inyo sa pagbasa ng libro?
Ano, sir? Most of the time, sir, it helps with being, sir, mindful of your own thoughts lang, sir. Kaya like, while reading, sir, kaya sometimes, sir, nag-stop ko in between sa, like, stories, sir, like, take in ko, like, ganito pala, like, that's, like, some people really think this way.
Yeah. Kani siya kay di na ako siya human nun. Kay murag in the middle na manggod ko tapos emotional na po like naga-cry na gid ko. There are actually books na makahilak, 'di ba, no? Makahilak ka as you read it. If makatry mo basa
Ano na book, sir? How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. Mo na ako gina-read.
Oh, that's nice. Patingin. Who's the author?
Si Dale Carnegie? Not sure.
Dale Carnegie. I've also read The Art of Being Alone. Moto siya. So, for introverts like me there. So, intro naman, guro karon mo eh. Ako lang isa. No, bitaw. Pero, mau bitaw ni siya. Kani siya ano git siya, tagos yung kay sa imong heart. I don't know, perhaps siguro, reflecting the past relationship that I had, naka-apply pod ko or naa siya ginahatag sa ko wisdom on how to move forward from that pain that I have. Kanang kung nag-choose kog book, depende sa akong emotion pod or sa akong experiences pod ba. So for me, it helped also process those difficult emotions and kanang stuff like that, to siya. So find a book that resonates your timeline right now para maano gud ninyo ma-continue ninyo siya basa, no? Mao to siya. So it's good that you're reading. I'm happy that you're reading yun, no? Happy ko kay nagabasa mong libro.
Sir,
So,
i-try po ang sir, kaning discontent na book.
this
Work
content.
burnout ni siya na about work burnout.
Oh, thank you for sharing that with me. I also like to try the courage of being dislike, no? I also nagaano pud ko kanagaling while long drive ka or naga-travel ka, naga-play ko og kanang audiobooks kana pod. Instead na mag-listen ko og music kana pod mga audiobooks na lang pod, no. Kuasa ko coffee ha kay kailangan ko caffeine karon just for a sec lang gid, and we're going to start chat ninyo guys yung mga recommendation ng mga books dira. Nag-write ako story publisher. It's good, Clapis. I'm happy. Natagalan ako set up ng monitor and keyboard. It's good. Nagabuhat po din mong libro. Ako po actually right now. So, na ako'y book pod karon na ginasulat. It's based from my personal experiences pod. Anecdotes lang pod siya sa akong clients. So, mura siyang self-help book. Coping mechanism siya and about the practice, about experiences of my clients. I share their mga pain nila, sufferings nila, and how do they come across their own stories and pain in their life, and katong gid nila, experiences gid nila coming from different backgrounds. I'll get coffee lang ha, and we're going to begin na gyud. Kulang jud kog caffeine karon. Sorry for a while. Okay. So, ito siya. Nako. Sensya ka. I was really tired. Muna kong ikapoy ko last gahapon kay clients, atong trabaho. Okay. So, ito siya. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Sa inyong mga wish list karong Pasko di ay class, kung ask ko sa inyo ha. Sa inyong gusto mahitabo na something. Not really material ha, pero kana bang even not material things, pero ano bang mga gusto ninyo karong Christmas? Unsa ba? Or what's your wish karong Pasko?
Makatapos ako ng 5 books before Christmas, sir.
Achievement, no? Makahuman og 5 na books karong Christmas. Lagi ko pod lagi. Make it a habit to read. Even kanaganing ka, dili lang ka reading slump ba? Ana good. Okay, I tried my best not to end a book unless wala pa na ko siya nakuman. Pero naadyo yung mga libro na mag-move on ako kay book should be enjoyed. It should not be like a chore na dapat mo siya buhaton. I believe that reading should be enjoyable. 'di ba? Dili siya kanang pugso nimo ba? Oo. I'm really wanting to finish The Alchemist pero later on, I don't know. Nipis lang man gud siya pero na-bored man gud ko. Nakabasa mo ato? The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho? Wala. Wala pa?
Ano sir, kay, ano sir, sometimes sir, nagapili igog kanya ani nga mga book sir. Kanang grabe ka ni Peace by,
Nipis.
ano, wait lang sir.
Oo. Para ano 'no, kana ganing realistic siya ba, based sa imong capacity. Oo, oo, okay, I really believe that book should be enjoyed gyud. It's not something na chore gyud siya na kailangan gyud nimo siya unsaon gyud 'no. Humanun gyud out of, ano lang gyud, ana good ano. So, well, you choose the books that really resonates to your life right now 'no, part na pod sa inyong improvement pod and all. Okay. Anyways, without further much ado, let's begin. So we are finished with ano kumana ta sa historical milestone and key figures sa clinical psychology. So during this time, let's now focus to the ethics in clinical psychology. So ethics in the practice, the clinical psychology. So if you have read or come across atong giingon ako sa inyo na nabasahon to ninyo no katong APA guidelines, katong top na code of ethics. If nabasa to ninyo or if naka-watch mga videos, I'm sure you will understand also the principles involved. So we have beneficence and non-maleficence. What is beneficence? Pagtabi. What is beneficence? Unsa pasabot ana sa practice? Okay. Beneficence, by its very meaning and core, it means that dapat ang inyuhang practice no or ang practice ninyo sa psych or ang ginabuhat ninyo na service, it should benefit more the client. It's part of our oath to benefit the client. It should give a benefit to the society, to the client, to the person, to the party that you're serving. Beneficence ang tawag, ana. That is a general ethical principle of why we are doing it. Non-maleficence, it should not indict harm towards the person or others. Dili ta maka-cause of further distress sa client. If maka-cause na siya further distress sa client, then let's stop the practice. Let's stop the agreement or let's stop the relationship no with the client no. So dapat dili siya naga-cause og kanang sakit no or further harm, distress or trouble. Non-maleficence ang tawag ana no. Again, the practice we do, assessment, the therapy we do and conduct should benefit the party. It can be the company we're serving, the clinic that we're serving, the person that we are giving the service. And non-maleficence, it will not cause any harm and distress to the client or to the parties involved. Understood? Do you have questions in that? Okay, so can you give me an example of beneficence as a practitioner? If you're practicing, what is an example of a benefit that you can give to the client? Sige daw, magtatag ano ani. Alcohol. Based on your based on your understanding of how we do this, how you practice your own professions. Magpa-oral ko be, no? Sige daw. Ryan, yes, Ryan.
Sir, kung I think another or rather one way for us to practice beneficence, lalo na when it comes to clients, is when we do testing to check for any problems or for any issues that the client may have. The way to test them is to make sure that it's for their benefit, not for another gain, another selfish gain by the professional. Dapat if we are going to test them or if we're going to give them the help that they need, it's to ensure that it will actually it will work for them. And it's not parang ano ba tawag nito, half-hearted lang po na solution sa kanilang problem. Like we are
Mhm.
there to ensure that they will receive the full benefits or that they will receive the help that they do deserve. So
Mhm.
yun po.
Sakto, no, ang sagot. Thank you, Ryan, for that answer. Because they're paying us. Number one, they are paying us. And at the same time, as a professional, we should abide to the best ethical practice as much as possible. So, tama yun, no? Kasi nagabayad man sila sa atin, no? Without them, we don't have income, we don't have money, we cannot practice. So, syempre, it should really benefit them more. Okay? And fidelity and responsibility. What is fidelity? Nga na siya sa Wi-Fi. Wireless fidelity. Mo nang meaning sa Wi-Fi ha? Wireless fidelity. What is fidelity? Yes, Blessa, saan ang fidelity?
I think building trust po sa towards sa client po or
Wow.
maintaining that trust po.
Okay. Big word, trust, no? So, Blessa, let's talk about trust. Hindi, joke lang anak, no? That is really true, no? Building trust, of course, is important. Fidelity also refers to loyalty, no? At any cost, you should be able to uh, to inform your client where this information would go. It's either to him, her, and other parties involved. When I was conducting therapy, I there are parties kasi that are involved eh. Minsan kasi you cannot just divulge some information without their consent. Class, I will be showing some pictures here. I have no time na kasi to maglagay-lagay pa ng mga cover, no? Pero please, this is just for educational purpose. I want to protect their own confidentiality and these are all in the past naman din. So there might be pictures here. But I want you to best. I want to share kasi unsa gid ang naagid sa practice ba para masabtan gid ninyo ang pasabot aning mga principles sa naa diri no. So please let's just not screenshot or let's not use this as references. I'm just showing you sa tong mga na-experience ko na ako. How did I learn these principles over time? Um Perhaps an example of fidelity is something like this. So if this is the case, let's say we have the following cases of these people. Again, this is just for educational purpose. Wala ko'y time ang good mag-cover. Ha? So can I give a thumbs up that this will not relate to other people? Okay? I want to give you what it is really in the practice. Sa gidang real world. I don't want to give like books and theories because, you know, it's pointless na mag-focus rata sa mga libro. Maghata kog example sa inyo ha, tapos puros book lang tanan. This is the practice that we're doing. So example, when I was conducting therapies, this is an example. The information that I am giving in these therapy sessions, it's clear to them that this will go not only to them, but also to the party that was involved here, the company, because they're working in this company and they have some benefits of getting therapy sessions for free, something like that. And me as a service provider, I give this to them. So this is an example of some treatment recommendation forms that I give to them and to the parties involved. Let's say this client, let's say Miss Perez experienced anxiety disorder unspecified. So, this information should relay only to the client and to the third party where he or she is working in. No other people should have this information. Okay? Do you understand? Okay? So, this is an example of a treatment recommendation that I give to my clients. Okay? So, yeah, so there is a recommendation here, practices here. So, ito yung ginagawa ko after the post sessions. Excuse me. Ayun. Let's go now to, again, loyalty. That is loyalty, no? Responsibility. As a practitioner, you should be responsible to the welfare of your client. If your client is experiencing suicidal thoughts, or there is an instance of abuse, what should you do as a practitioner? Sige daw. If there are self-harm, suicidal thoughts, abuse, physical, sexual abuse involved, what is the best thing to do? Yes, Dave.
For that, sir, if there really involves, sir, let's say self-harm, I guess the best way to really handle it is like l- to put the client into a psych hold, sir, so that they could be monitored and at the same time be, sir, placed in an environment where they cannot really, get any materials or any objects that they can actually put into themselves or something like that.
Okay. But before that, of course, before putting them in some institution for them to have for them to be monitored and regulated, what can we do is we can report this to authorities. This can be in the company or even authorities like police for them to get treatments and all. The goal here is for them not to do that anymore, not to indict abuse, and not to harm themselves even more towards the extent of committing a suicide. So, as a practitioner, you should divulge that consent or that confidentiality. Do you understand? There are three cases: self harm, thoughts of harming other people, so or suicidal thoughts, and number three is there is an abuse that is present. When these three are present to your case, you should report that immediately to your authority, to the authorities. It's your responsibility to report that. Do you understand? Is it clear? Again, if these three are involved, self-harm or thoughts na gustong magpakamatay. Number three is meron siyang gusto niyang manakit ng kapwa or gusto niyang gumawa ng bagay na makakasakit sa ibang tao. When there is violence and abuse, this three is present. Our job is to immediately report it to the authorities. Now, let's move forward. Integrity. What is integrity? Integrity. Sige daw. Okay. Ninte, what is integrity?
Hello, sir. So integrity is focused on being honest, accurate, and consistent.
Honest,
In
accurate, and consistent. Okay, sige. Yeah, integrity is when yung meaning in class practices, integrity ibig sabihin, you are reporting the actual results. If you're doing assessment, no, hindi mo kino-cover up, you're not falsifying any information. You are reporting clear information, accurate results from the assessment. Do you get it? Kuha nyo ba? Hindi ka nagpo-falsify. Kung ano yung result ni client, yun talaga yung binibigay mo. No? Yun talaga yung ni-report mo even though magkaibigan kayo ni client, even though meron kang mga, 'di ba sa experimental site, merong mga ano nga thought no, may mga biases na confirmatory bias, no? Mga halo effect, 'di ba? Ganyan-ganyan, no? So feeling mo hindi ganyan sa client, no? But it turned out na iba yung result niya, no? Doon sa inaasahan mo. What will you do kapag ganyan yung nangyari? There are bias already. Confirmatory there is confirmatory biases na ganyan. What will you do? Unsang buhaton ana? Will you still report what is actual result? Yes or no? Say sa test niya naggawas gyud dako iyang there's a high level of neuroticism. Wala, dako kaayo no, pero feeling nimo marag okay man si client no? Pero sa test result niya, syempre, 'di ba? You have to report that. That is integrity. Reporting accurate results. Now, justice. Justice. Okay, unsa nang justice, guys? Unsa nang justice? What does it mean? Justice. Yes. Miss Pacania, what is justice?
Justice is when we ensure that the clients are treated fairly. They are also given the correct tests, the correct treatments, the correct interventions without having parang ano gani sir kanang hindi lang selective, hindi lang depende sa client kung paano mo ibibigay yung treatment. Everyone deserves to have a fair and just treatment of their issues.
Okay, that is correct. Fairness. You emphasizes Miss Pacania. Good job on that. So sinabi mo na there is fairness or treated fairly. Um, yeah, everyone is deserving of the same treatment you give. Even though the client is big time, may negosyo siya, abogado siya. That same amount of service you give should be fair also even though walang pera si client. No formal education si client. Hindi siya nakapag-high school. Kahit na low income si client or wala siyang pinag-aralan, patas lang dapat ang pagbibigay natin ng treatment or service. Hindi rin dapat bias kapag mataas si client or big time si client. As much as possible, we try to avoid being judgmental to our clients. Guys, just to take note ha, if, you know, whenever you are doing, when I'm asking you questions, when you participate, nagmamark kayo sa akin, no? So, yung mga grades na binibigay ko sa inyo, especially on the summative assessments, if you want to do good in your summative assessments, magpakitang gilas kayo sa klase natin. You respond, you cooperate, you answer my questions. You turn on your cameras, kasi yung mga pangalan, yung mga names ninyo dyan, who are participating, nagmamark yun sa akin. So when I see that you are really doing well in class, there is a big correlation that I'm giving you a really good grade in your summative assessment. And take note, that is a huge part of your grades. So, magpakitang gilas kayo sa klase. You answer my questions. You use your microphone. Mutubag mo sa kuha. Okay, how will I do that? How will I know that you're really doing well if you're not just stating your answers, no? So, nagmamark kayo sa akin. Yung puro sagot ng sagot ngayon, yung nag-a-answer sa akin ng mga questions, nagmamark ka kayo sa akin. And whenever I will check your assessments, I give credits to those people who are participating. And that's how I assessed you. Hindi lang yung assessment nyo lang. So kung wala kayo dito sa klase na to, pasensya po, no? Hindi ko kayo bibigyan ng kung anumang grado na feeling nyo deserve ninyo, no? Because the real learning happens inside this virtual classroom we have. So again, nagma-mark kayo sa akin yung mga nag-a-answer ng questions. So malaking impact 'yon, no? May judgment na ako sa inyo kung anong klaseng estudyante kayo and ano yung interest ninyo sa klase natin if you are attending this. So ngayon nakikita ko 8 lang kayo dito or 7 lang kayo dito, no? Pasensyahan sa iba na hindi nag-a-attend ng klase natin. Clear? Okay? So take note ha na yun yung akin ha, how do I assess you? For those that are answering palagi, no? May mga ano kayo sa akin, may mga points kayo sa akin. And nagma-mark kayo sa akin. Ayun, sige, continue tayo. Sige, now let's go to, so yun, fairness. Thank you, Miss Pacania, fairness. Kahit sinong client yan, patas yung pagtingin mo sa kanya and yung service mo. Respect for people's rights and dignity. Sige nga, anong ibig sabihin nito sa practice natin? Okay, let's go to, okay, Clapis. Sige.
Ano po sir, regardless of what gender you are, the age, the gender identity, disability, the psychologist will always have the respect and the worth of all people, to put the confidentiality and privacy as an honor to them.
Yes, regardless, no, background, you should see the innate dignity of every person, no, that they are innately deserving of respect as a human person, as a human being, Okay, may gusto pang may meron pa bang gustong mag-answer? I guess Nacorda is raising his hand kanina, no? Dave?
Ano lang sir, to add lang sir, like somewhat similar din kay Lexi sir. So basically sir that we uphold their ano sir, um humanity, their capacity for themselves, and we must also respect that they are their own individual, and we shouldn't really try to do things without their consent or that might make them feel uncomfortable sir.
Okay, sakto. Thank you, Mr. Nacorda. So tama ka doon. Tama kayo doon, no? So kapag kasi sa therapy minsan, may mga tendencies na ini-indict natin yung bias natin. Kumbaga, ay, dapat hindi ka ganyan. You should not feel like that, no? Diyos ko, ganyan lang yan. Walang ganon-ganon, ha? Hindi niyo dapat you should not judge, you should not color your judgment based on your own impression. Hindi kayo nagsiset ng value imposition. No, ibig sabihin, during therapy sessions, kapag nagko-conduct kayo ng mga counseling and therapy, nirerespeto nyo yung pinagdadaanan ng kliyente nyo, ha? Hindi yung parang nag-share lang kayo ng personal ninyo na buhay at yung subjective perception ninyo, ha? Hindi ganun, ha? Respeto nyo pa rin yung kanilang pinagdadaanan, yung pagkatao nila, kung saan sila nanggagaling. Empathy. Ha? Okay ha, kapag nag-counseling kayo, magbigay kayo ng mga, ako nga dati ganito, ako nga before, hindi nga ako nagganyan-ganyan. So hindi nyo hinuhusgahan yung pinagdadaanan ng clients natin. Hindi yun yung job din ninyo. You should process that and come from their point of view. Pumupunta kayo sa buhay nila, kung paano niya na-handle respecting their personalities, respecting their background and experiences. Okay, so this guide every aspect to the clinical practice and up until we do assessment and therapy. Lahat ng ito, general ethical guidelines and principles natin, ito lahat. Ito lang yung mga, kumbaga, marami pa kasi talaga, no? Pero ito talaga yung mga generic na dapat nating sundin as practitioners. Do you have questions? Asking ng mga questions, guys. Sige, come on. I can answer those questions on the best of my ability. Sige, go. If you have questions. Nasabtan ninyo, no? Okay. So, okay. Yes, bless, you're raising your hand.
Oh, for example, sir, may client ka, sir, ba na parang gusto niya i-stop yung therapy niya or counseling kahit sa part mo as a psychologist na hindi pa dapat. So, anong gawin mo if ganyan yung case, sir?
Ano yun? Kapag si client is, anong ginagawa ni client?
Parang gusto niya i-stop yung counseling niya or yung therapy niya, pero as a psychologist hindi pa dapat ano sir ba yung i-stop God kasi parang you feel like based sa assessment mo hindi pa siya okay or what. Ano yung gawin mo as a psychologist, sir, if ganyan
stop.
yung ano?
You stop immediately as soon as nagsabi na si client. But before you stop, before kayo mag-part ways, give him referral. Give him referral and an understanding of his condition. Because he's not cooperating na eh. And there's no point of continuing that therapeutic relationship kung ayaw na naman din ni client to get some help. So kapag ganyan na, kapag ayaw na ni client and ikaw as psychologist, feeling mo na hindi pa tamang panahon to let him go or her go, you stop it na. Hindi na siya nakakatulong. You might indict maleficence already to the client na. It might indict harm na sa kanya or frustration. So tama na, tigil na. But before that, before you part ways, you give referral and you give him an understanding of what he's going through. A little bit of encouragement. Kasi respeto na yan eh. Kasi ayaw na niya, hindi na siya ready eh. Hindi na siya nakikipag-cooperate. And the more you push yourself, the more na silang lumalayo. Diba? Ganun sila, diba? The more mong pinipilit yung self mo, the more lumalayo yung mga tao, diba? The more silang magagalit sa'yo kasi ayaw na nila. Ano bang pinag-uusapan natin? Is it about ano ba? Client ba to or ano ba? Love life. Char, no, hindi. Bitaw. Hindi ganon, ha? So kapag ayaw na ni client, stop mo siya, but professional pa rin. And the best you can, sabihin mo siya na, ito ha, I see, I notice, I hope that you can get some help if you are ready already. Kapag ready ka na, no? Someone can help you and this is okay, it's normal, it's part of your processing. O, ganon, no? Kasi hindi magiging helpful yan kung isang party lang. A therapeutic relationship works both ways. Parang magjowa yan, no? Nagtutulungan, okay? Hindi pwede one-sided lang. Kung ayaw ng isa, walang mangyayari dyan, okay? Do you understand, Miss Blessa? Do I answer your question?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Good. Now, let's now go to the ethical issues, chapter 5 of Pomeranz. Confidentiality limits. Like what I've mentioned, there are 3 scenarios wherein we could already stop or that we could already divulge the confidentiality. And ano yun? We have self-harm, no? Self-harm. May thoughts siya. Thoughts of, yun nga, may self-harm or meron na siyang mga suicidal thoughts. Number 2 is abuse. There's abuse already involved. Physical mo yan or sexual abuse towards the person. Other person. And number 3 is kung may plano na siya. May plano na siyang gusto niyang magpakamatay. No? Yung 3 bagay na yon, kapag present siya, either of those 3, may harm na na-involve, then you could already divulge this information. Yes. Yes, Ninte.
Sir, what if verbal abuse?
Verbal abuse. Okay. Of course, iwiwiin mo yan, no? Let's say saying bad words. Ang pagmumura kasi, minsan, expression siya, no? Iwiwiin mo siya. How does this affect already the person? But nasa ano kasi, physical and sexual abuse lang din kasi eh. I don't know if it can warrant to divulge the confidentiality. Pero in my own judgment, I can weigh in how does it affect the other person or the other parties involved. Pero ito ha, pag sa bata, automatically, okay, diretso, divulged na natin yan. Iba kasi yung effect niyan talaga sa mga child eh, sa bata eh, compared sa adult na. So, yung 3 yun ha, oo. Depende rin kasi sa case eh. Ikaw minsan isipin mo rin kung anong effect nito rin sa other parties or sa self niya, no? Kasi yung pagre-report mo, mas nakaka-cause siya ng benefit rather than the harm. Okay? So, depende rin sa case. Iwi-weigh-in mo siya, but nasa libro or nasa ibang references, sexual and physical abuse lang. Yung verbal abuse, hindi pa ako sure about that. I cannot say that it can warrant so much of a case to divulge confidentiality. Depende siguro. Siyempre kung bata, ibang kaso na yan. Okay, now let's go to informed consent. Before you go or give assessment or psychotherapy, nagpapasign tayo ng informed consent sa kanila. Nandun lahat naka-state. Lahat ng kanilang mga ma-expect nila and mga ini-impose or mga examples. I'll give you an example of an informed consent. So, look at my example. This is for assessment purposes. So whenever before ako nagbibigay ng assessment, no, nagbibigay muna ako ng mga informed consent. Informed consent looks something like this. I guess sa research nang bibigay kayo ng informed consent, no? Ito yung bago. So it looks something like this. Medyo maliit lang siya, no? Yan. Can you see it? Nakikita nyo ba? Okay. So, naka-state dyan yung psychological service that they are rendering or that they are getting. And they can understand the nature, risk, and benefits of the services and the limits of confidentiality and what is expected as a client. This is to attest that they have read this based from your own perspective. This is important because this can help protect you yourself and the client kapag nagkaroon na ng problema or issue. Na nag-sign sila nito, ano din to protection din to sa kanila. And sa'yo din, no? Kasi they signed no? They agreed on the terms and agreements of what can happen during therapy sessions. So this can look something like this. For minors, children, there should be an adult that can sign this. A caretaker, a parent that should sign this. Kapag minor si client, less than 18 years old, may parent dapat na nagsasign nito. They cannot sign on themselves. This serves as a form of protection on both parties. Understand? Inasabtan? Sige, balik ta. And so, nawala akong slide. Okay. So again katong mga nag-a-answer sa kuha, tumatatak kayo sa akin, don't worry, no? Yung mga nag-a-answer sa akin, the blessing will flow on the summative assessment. Dili siya promise, pero I'm just saying lang yun na naamoy extra credit sa kuha. Unlike those that are not here or not participating, hindi nagpaparamdam, syempre, ibang ano na yun, ibang level na yun. But again, the blessing will flow on the summative assessment. Sorry. Which will be during the exams na ninyo, no? Okay. Okay, so mao to siya. Questions daw. Signa pa mo yung mga questions. So, there are different forms of informed consent. Lalahi-lahi siya mga klase or version. Basta ang nature lang sa informed consent, nandito ang service na inyong ginahatag. Plus, of course, what can they expect in the limits to the confidentiality? Okay, so muna siya. Okay, I hope that you're learning, You're learning. And now, we have competence. So competence, of course, you will not go to a case na wala kay experience kaayo or you feel like you cannot do it or conduct it. That's part of an issue. If musalam ka sa isa ka critical case, rape, let's say rape victim, then you feel not competent about it or hindi ka kanang feeling mo ba na wala kay confidence to handle it, it's best to refer it na lang then to someone who has an experience or who might be expert into that. I do that whenever I feel like I cannot handle a case, hindi ko pinipilit yung self ko, yung sarili ko. Ganun. So kapag naay mo duol sa kuha na schizophrenic, I feel like I cannot give the best of my abilities because I lack experience. I acknowledge that and I refer it. Multiple relationships, kani siya, no? Isa po niya siya sa mga issues pod. So multiple relationships is example is, let's say you have a friend nimo siya. Or let's say example, igsuon siya sa friend nimo. By ethics, dili siya pwede. By ethics by ethics. But it happened manggod usahay. Kay syempre lack na pud og mga resources. Especially kapag best friend nimo ni siya, no? And you give therapy to him or her, no? Professionally, dili siya pwede. It's best to refer it to a person na wala jud siya kaalam-alam yun sa buhay aning person. Why? Why dili siya pwede? Kung naa kay relationship na saya ha. Sige daw.
Sir, medyo biased na siya, sir.
Oo. Ma-colored ang judgment na nimo sa yaha, no? So dili na objective ang service na mahatag nimo sa yaha because nanay mga biases. So pila ka years before nimo mahimong, let's say, na-develop kasi mong client ingana, no? So pila ka years, kani interesting question. Pila ka years or how long dapat na na-end na inyong therapeutic relationship before nimo uyabon si client? Sige daw kana. Kabalo mo let's say na in love kasi mong client and nag-fall in love jud mo, nag-workout in yung relationship, then there's something yun. There is a shenanigans yun that happened. How long will it take? Pila ka years or how long dapat na nakumana ang inyong relationship as counselor and client? Sige daw, Dave.
I guess, sir, if I remember correctly, sir, sa class ni Ma'am Abby, sir, I guess 2 years yun daw dapat, sir, like, wala gid mo yung contact, sir, like, no, like, wala gid mo kita, ay, like, wala gid mo, ano, sir, like, any form of communication, sir. 2 years.
Yes, thank you, Dave. That is right. 2 years dapat na wala na yung communication. Nag-end ang therapeutic relationship dapat. Wala na dapat, there's nothing going on agad sa inyo, ha? And by ethics, this should be followed. Guys, these are just ethics, ha? Ethics is not correlated with law. Even though some practitioners are not following this, dili gyapon sila grounded na makulong sila. So it's just a guide of practice. But this is important because it's part of our oath kasi na if na follow gid na nato ning mga ethics ani. Some of these are broken, gina-breakdown gid siya, and ang nakoy uban po ng mga kailan na dili gid siya gina-follow gid kaayang uban ani, no? Ma-break gid siya or ma-bend gid siya. Cultural fairness. Okay. Is this ethical na maghatag ka og kanang test? Let's say, Stanford Binet intelligence test to a person na walay formal education. No read or write si client. I have that experience, no? Wala siya basa og sulat. Grade 1 lang ang tinapos ni client. Is it ethical to give him a verbal test, a Stanford Binet type of test, an aptitude test, siguro a scholastic aptitude test? Fair ba to give him something like that? Yes or no? And why? So to answer that, no, it's not fair. Yes, Ryan.
Yun din sana sabihin ko, sir. It is not fair for a client to be given a test that is beyond their capabilities. Kasi ang magiging result niyan, sir, is hindi accurate and mas magiging harmful siya sa client kasi you are not hitting the correct problem. Hindi mo nahahanap yung problem talaga or hindi mo nakikita yung results na dapat mo makita sa client kasi you chose to give them a test that is not in line with what they're having.
Okay. Let's say required gid siya, psych evaluation siya, ha, required ang IQ testing. So if kung dili pwede sila Stanford Binet, those that involve words, what should you give? Alternative. Kay ano man, requirement man siya, no? Kailangan na ay IQ
Ano, sir?
component dapat.
Pwede makonsider, ano, sir, yung Ravens matrices, sir?
Very good. Non-verbal tests. Those are culture fair tests. The CFIT, no? We have culture fair intelligence test. We have also Ravens progressive matrices. We have standard Ravens progressive matrices. Naapoy pang bata, the colored progressive matrices. And for those that are in higher positions or kind of mga bright yung kaayo gifted, the advanced progressive matrices. That is good because these types of tests did not involve lack of culture. Kaya wala man siyang words, no? It's not developed by Americans or by Western. It is pictures, patterns, solving, problem solving. Through that, maano gyapon ang ilang fluid intelligence. Matest gyapon nimo sila. Through their fluid intelligence. Though they cannot read, they cannot, lack of formal education. But through that, matest gyapon nimo. Okay, that is good. Thank you, Dave, no? Culture fair test. So, as much as possible, gani dapat culture fair test ang ginagamit. Though, kung major intelligence test yun, namo yung mga reasons why we use major intelligence test. And, mao po to, ginagamit lang gid siya for specialized cases yun. But to be all honest, I always use the nonverbal test. Technology and teletherapy give me concerns of this because nag-boom ni siya during the pandemic and right now it is existing. What can be the ethical concerns of conducting teletherapy or using technology?
Ano, sir, in terms of teletherapy, well, like, ano, sir, meaning, sir, like, ano, sir, like, yung virtual, sir, or like, yung through the phone lang, sir?
Lahat. Basta technology involved.
I guess,
can you
sir, there is certain limitations, sir. Like, I guess for one, sir, it's like the contact between therapist and client, sir, since if you conduct mangocho, sir, with face to face, sir, there is the sense of presence and a sense of physical connection to build rapport. But with telecounseling, sir, or teletherapy, medyo lisod siya, sir, to build a connection with your client, since there is really a boundary, sir, in terms of communication, unlike the concept on the virtual, ano po, sir, virtual devices that we would use.
Okay, good. Thank you, Dave. Aside from that also is an ethical issue is perhaps kapag you're conducting tele-assessment, minsan they might be cheating or doing something, 'di ba? Kapag nagko-conduct sila ng assessment or test, and even like that, no? Internet connections can be a problem as well, no? Lack of familiarity, especially sa mga thunders na ba, sa mga oldies na nakoy clients gid na maglisod gid sila og use og technology gid kanang mag-enter pa lang og Google Meet, maglisod sila og gamit og laptop. Those can be issues which can of course affect the progression of the evaluation procedures. Okay, thank you for those answers. Now, this is a confidentiality. You have really explained this. Actually, this is my client kahapon, no? Pinicturean ko lang. Example, before I give these types of assessment, pinapapirma ko muna sa mga parents or doon sa kasama niya yung mangyayari sa child. What will I do and what will I conduct with the child? So, important yan. Now, ethical considerations in the Philippines, sensitivity to local cultural norms. Hindi natin kailangang dapat hiwalayin yung kultura natin, kagaya ng hiya, respeto sa nakakatanda. Part siya ng practice natin na inaalam natin yung norms ng ating what we're dealing with. Managing dual relationships in small communities. So important yan. Mahirap kapag kaibigan mo yung client, no? Hindi siya ethical, to be honest. Kung kaibigan mo na yung client, it's best to refer it to someone else na walang kilala si client. Kaya yung time na nagpapa-therapy ako, naghahanap ako ng, ng psychologist para i-process din ako. Nahihirapan sila kasi parang most of them, they already know me and my background. So sobrang nahirapan ako maghanap ng match, to be honest. Kailan man sila sa kuha, they know what I am doing, no? Most of them are my classmates. So lisod pod, no? Next, mandatory reporting. So kapag imposed harm to others or self-harm or suicide, education and presence of abuse to child or the elderly, again, there is already this right to break confidentiality and report to authorities like the police or the company, HR or kung unsa ba. Religiosity or spiritual sensitivity. In our country, we value so much of our faith, no? Part also is to consider that one. But of course, you should not give like magsabi ka sa kanya na mag-pray lang ka. Nay, nag-iingay na sa inyo. Dapat mato kag church. So, do you think it's a good thing to say? Wala, kulang lang ka sa prayers, no? Of course not. It's not something that you should say to your client. It should be objective gyapon, ha? Dapat magbalik kag church or ano ka ba? I-invite ka sa isa ka religious na organization or Christian or whatsoever. I have nothing against those, but if it can help them and if choice ni client, why not, di ba? Family involvement in decisions. So part of being conservative culture is, syempre, part yun siya sa isa ka family, no? Ang values po nila sa family. And kailangan po nimo alamon unsang values nila within the family, especially when you're dealing with cases like families and etc., no? A Filipino psychologist must balance cultural respect with ethical obligations in the professions. Again, dili ka makulong ani ha, but ano lang siya, guide for practice lang din siya. And I think if mo sobra na ka sa pagsaway ani, pwede ka makuha anong lisensya. Okay? Maupod na siya ang fear pud na mo. Pwede mi makuha anong license kapag ano na yun, sobra-sobra na kayo ang ang bilikod pag ani, no? Pag-follow. So kani siya, sige daw. Lance, can you please read the first bullet?
A psychologist in a rural barangay begins therapy with a teenage girl. A week later, the girl's mother invites the psychologist to be a ninang, godparent, in the family celebration. Refusing may strain rapport, but accepting creates a dual relationship.
Yeah, so like what I've mentioned, there should nothing be going on, no shenanigans going on between you and your client, nothing at all. Kuan ka, ninang, dili pwede na siya. Lisod siya. Okay, dili pwede, no? Multiple relationships ni siya, APA under Section 6 of the PAP Code of Ethics. The rest here is loss of objectivity and boundary confusion. Unsa magandang role gid niya sa ano? Is him the service provider or the psychologist or ninang ka, godparent ka? Do you have questions in this case? None. Okay, clear. Let's go to case number 2. Ryan, please read the first bullet.
A college student tells her psychologist she has a concrete plan to harm her abusive partner. She refuses to allow disclosure. The therapist must decide whether to breach confidentiality.
Okay, so the issue here is limits to confidentiality, APA 4.5, PAP section 7. So the risk here is harm to self or others, and it's our legal duty and obligation to protect and to report this to authorities. Okay, it can be to the police or to the company itself or kung sino man, no? Authorities. Police na maguna, no? Mostly ang generic pud ana, asa nimo siya pwede i-report na gustong magpakamatay or gusto niya mag-harm ng other people. Are there questions here? Wala. Okay, so ato ta, no? So yes, Dave, you're erasing your hand.
Ano, sir, in the event na like medyo ano sir like ano if na ay person nga who is ano sir who is trying to commit suicide sir say best na ano sir government or like any law enforcing agency nga i-contact sir, is it the police yun, sir, or ano sir yung ano something for that
Well,
sir?
well, ako personally, in my own judgment, it can be the family, the caretakers, before you go to these authorities. The family ba? Ay sila magud ang pinaka main buff gid ani sa pangitabo. Authorities can be those that are kung kinsa ang naay ano ba, naay direct custody over these matters. For me, it's the family if the child is minor. And even if the child goes beyond that kind of age, the caretaker, the parent, or who's taking care or kinsang kauban niya, katugid ang first direct line. Now, kapag that will fail, there are hotlines. Diba? There are hotlines that we can call. And even the police or 911, worst case to worst, no? About to siya. Basta ang first line yun is ang family yun. Members, relatives na na-care saya or nag-alaga saya. Kaya, di ba, naman to emergency contact. In therapies, there are emergency contact na ginasulat po. Whenever there can be harm that can involve here, pwede ni siya. Pero sa companies man good, kapag gina-deploy mo as psychologist, si HR mo good ang direct cover po ana good. So kay HR mo, depende gid sa kaso gyud. Kung asa gid ka na service provider gyud. If you are in a clinic, so syempre emergency. Pero pag gina-deploy ka, HR, those can be authorities. Did I answer, Dave? Oo, but generic
Yes,
yun
sir.
si family.
Yes,
Si
sir.
family gid first, then if worst case to worst, 911 or sa police, mga hotlines ka na. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
so now let's go here to competence in the forensic practice. Now, tapos naman si Blessa, no? Done ka na, Bless, na? Nag-read?
Wala pa, sir.
Sige. Bless, read this case number 3.
So a clinical psychologist with no specialized training in forensic assessment is asked by a lawyer friend to write a psychological report for an annulment case. Article 36, psychological incapacity.
Okay. Without experience, of course, it's hard for us to do these types of cases. So competence is the issue here. APA, PAP Principle C. So the risk here is improper testimony, misleading court and legal sanctions because you don't have certifications. And there is a diploma course if you want to pursue for forensic psychology. Honestly, you can go for that and gain experience after that. And me, I'm trying to work with this one, no, for me to be able to testify in court. I actually talked to my lawyer friend about this and how do they do this. Our role actually is to testify in cases of murder or crimes, no, mga ganon, or even separation and annulment cases. So mahirap kung wala kang alam at wala kang not background of how we do it in the practice. So minsan nagkakamali ka or baluktot yung experience mo. But I mean, kulang yung pinagdaanan mong experience din. Okay, so do you have questions into this? Malaking pera dito actually, class. No? Kaya nga gusto ko siyang pasukin. Malaki yung binibigay din actually sa mga nag-testify sa court. Pero syempre, with that amount of money, malaking trabaho din and sensitive din ito. You might get death threats and all. Lalo na kapag yung binabangga mo is malaking kliyente or malaking tao. Yes, Dave.
Ano sir, nag-mention din si Ma'am Moira about sir ba regarding sir sa IO Psych sir. Like unsay mas dako dig money sir ang forensic sir or sa IO Psych sir?
Yeah. I've learned that from RGO actually. May mas pera daw talaga sa IO. Ito man kasi mga cases na to kasi ano mong good siya, event driven lang siya. Yes, may malaking pera sa IO, yung nasa field care din ako. May malaki rin actually yung binibigay nila actually pag nasa practice ka. Kasi kasi siya, corporate eh. Corporate rate. So, medyo meron pera actually to be honest. Actually, mas may pera sa IO, pero clinical kasi mas maraming opportunities. And di ba yung sabi ko sa inyo kapag once hardworking ka at talagang masipag ka and you do the practice well, may pera din talaga sa clinic. Trust me. Basta hardworking ka lang talaga. Sa IO kasi, stagnant. Yung sweldo mo, quincenas, 30, ganyan lang din. Pero sa clinic kasi, if marami kang clients, then of course, so depende din actually, no? Pero sabi sa amin, yung nag-aano ko sa board exam, mas may pera sa IO. Ang pinakawalang may pera sa field ng social psychology. Sorry, Sir Bonnie, pero katumang gid ang ingon gid sa ang reviewer. Hindi, pero yeah, research. No? Mura mong good siya ka ng ano ba? Basta, social psych ang pinakawalay kwarta. Honestly. Pero sabi ni Sir Moira, ni Ma'am Moira, it's true. IO psych ang pinakan ay kwarta yun. Kay corporate man good siya. Corporate siya. Sa HR, ano. So pag HR na lang mo eh. Di na mo clinical psych, Berbitaw class na may kwarta sa clinical psych. Basta masipag ka lang talaga, no? And how jug ka, ana good. Kay pangitaon mong good ka. Sa kuha, wala naman ako yung gina-market pero sila nagapangita sa kuha. Something like that. Not to brag really myself, but syempre, whenever you deliver a service, mag-bounce back maguna and i-refer ka nila. So, buyag. So, I guess I'm doing good. So, continuous lang and all. So, to siya. So, okay to siya. You have questions? Yeah. Sa IO kasi din talaga, Dave, it's really, yung pera or yung sahod mo din talaga is, yeah, mayroong umaabot ng 6 figures or 6 digits. Oo. Pero sa Manila yun ha. Jetpack ata yun. Yeah, 6 digits. Especially kapag mga meta, yung mga clients mo, ganyan. Malalaki yan sila magbigay, no? Meta yung client namin before. Okay din yung nila. Sweldohan nila doon. Pero burnout class, iba talaga, Diyos ko. ma-affect talaga yung mental health mo kung ready ka sa ganun. Kung mukha kang pera, go rebels, go ng go. Pero kung ano talaga, kung gusto mo i-preserve yung mental health mo, i-balansehin mo lang din. Siyempre, the higher the income, the more responsibility ang kailangan. Di ba? Hindi naman, they will give you like 100,000 tapos for 6 figures, then yung work mo, petics lang. Hindi ganun. May demand din sa ganong klaseng salary. And with the tax din. Ayun, so case number 4. Sige, Rain, please read. Ninte.
So, a psychologist administers an English language WAIS IV to a Cebuano-speaking client without considering language barriers. The client scores extremely low and the psychologist labels the client borderline functioning.
Yeah. Yes, ways for, so syempre, given with this condition, yung di ba yung sinabi ko sa inyo, lack of formal education, syempre ina-appropriate din natin yung test na binibigay natin sa client natin. We cannot judge them based dun sa test na yun kasi nga hindi match dun sa kanilang ability. So, hindi natin masasabi na low yung IQ niya because of this. Again, we should abide the fairness, the sensitivity also of their background and culture. So the risk can be misdiagnosis or discriminatory practice. I have clients manggod na magpataka sila answer ba sa mga test. Nga, kung kinagabuhat ko mga Bisaya translations, kay most of my clients manggod kay mga Bisaya kaayo, no? Para masabtan nila ang item. Kay dili nila masabtan sa survey scale, very agree. So na day siya. I mean, dili na day accurate ilang experience ato. So to really prevent that, of course, you should appropriate the types of test. Depende sa ilahang capacity, no? Mo to siya. Kay akato na ang tendency is mamali na og misdiagnosis or kumbaga mali imong impression na sa yaha. Inaccurate na. Do you have questions into this? Kaning ways for major intelligence test po ni siya. Wechsler Adult Intelligence Scale. So, lisod po kung dili sila kasabot kay English, no? Okay, so mao ni siya, example ni siya, my client, no? Maglisod siya sabot og English. So, what's the best test for him or her is what? Culture Fair test. The CFIT, the Ravens. Okay? Okay, now, let's go here. Bias forensic testimony. Okay, Dave, please read this case.
A psychologist is pressured by an attorney to emphasize certain findings in a child custody evaluation to favor their client. The attorney implies future referrals.
Okay, what's the issue here? Objectivity, integrity in the forensic context. So, kumbaga na pressured ka sa attorney ba na iingon tong mga findings na sa client in favor ato na client. Well, this happens, class, to be honest. This happens. There can be connivance that can happen sa buhatan. I'm talking to this attorney actually, and minsan kasi sinasabi din niya sa akin na minsan talaga meron ng agreement talaga para maghiwalay na talaga sila. Ito yung sabihin mo, sir, ha? Yan yung sabihin mo, ha? Nangyayari yan in real life. Honestly, it happens in real life. Just to probe this annulment case, sabihin mo to sa kanya. Siya yung may diferensya, ikaw yung may mali. Ganyan. Para tapos yung kaso natin, happy yung lahat. Nangyayari to, class, ha? Pero tayo as psych practitioners, iniiwasan natin to. We should be objective and prevent any legal repercussions. Questions into this? Okay. So in psych, actually, you can really work with social workers, with lawyers. No, actually, nindot guys kung inyong uyab kay lawyer, kay mag-partner jud mo. So kung mangita mong uyab guys, kanang lawyer jud. Kay grabe gid ang teamwork anang duha guys. Kumbaga makabuhat mo business. Ana, yeah, gingnan ko ana sa mo ang ano sa lecturer actually ni Sir Mark sa una actually. It's good na naa kay uyab na lawyer. Kay mag-partner jud mo ana sa inyong trabaho. Ana, so i-refer ka niya and siya pud ikaw ana. So legal pud ang ano ana. So yeah, kana no. Honestly, yun ako po from time to time I talk with lawyers about that. So ang ano ba sir, ang annulment, what actually happens puding ana. So kahit karon in my time right now, I'm getting experience ba. Kung sa bagid ang pulos sa tuang kurso sa ilaha yung ana. Though the psychologically incapacity card mong good is murag luma na good siya. Ginatanggal na siya. Actually, ang term na yung ana, no? Kana maka-commit kag crime because of psychologically incapacity. Luma na siya, lumang style na siya. So I don't know if that can still apply even right now. Oo, so mo to siya. Now, let's go to maintaining records. Felicity, please read the case.
A psychologist fails to keep proper notes after a series of sessions. Months later, the client files a complaint, but the psychologist has no documentation.
Yeah, mo to siya, no? The issue here is record keeping and documentation. So without the records, you cannot really defend the clinical decisions. Or of course, wala na kay record ato na client, then how can you have a reference to his case? Unsa man ni siya na client di ay? Kapag naanay mangayo na third party sa imuha. So wala kay case. So ako a class, naa na siya folder sa ko ang laptop, tanan reports na ako. Naagi siya sa isa ka folder gyud tanan. So kani siya tanan no. So I keep it really ranked and file gyud siya tanan. So for all of the cases that I handled, it has really a kanang naagi siya kanang murag folder gyud na ginasulod nako dito tanan mga cases nako no para mas organize siya in 2024 up until to the present time. So I can just search their names and mag-appear ni siya and pwede na kukuhaon lang po dayon and to send this to the authorities who is be needing of that. Okay, mo to siya. So now let's go to next. Clear man siguro na no? Okay, okay, let's get back. Let's get back to ano. Clapis, read this one, case number 7.
A psychologist provides teletherapy to a client in another region without clarifying limits of confidentiality, emergency protocols, or data privacy.
So, syempre, um, as a psychologist or as a psych practitioner, you should be able to tell them the limits of the confidentiality, the protocols, the data privacy involved of 2012 at ato, diba? Even sa research, diba? So, the risk can be privacy breaches and unstable crisis management. Okay, so this is how actually it looks like whenever I conduct ganing mga therapy sessions. It's a booking style system. Whenever there's a client that is being assigned to me, naka-handle na siya based on my available slots during that day, and they will put the client on specific time period that I have. So this is way back 2024. Right now, I'm not doing it right now. Kumbaga nag-ano sa ako, nag-hiatus ako sa therapy class because wala, kapoy na siya. Uyan ako, no? I mean, siguro makabalik ko ana pero not really right now. Siguro some other time if ready na ko emotionally ready na pud kong mag-absorb of problem sa laing tao, no? But right now assessment sa siguro. Pero I entertain clients kapag special cases na gid siya, no? Case number 8. Okay, Ryan, read.
A school psychologist allows untrained teachers to administer HTP and DAP tests to screen for emotional problems as part of a school program.
Okay, the risk here is test security and proper administration. Okay, here it is. For group intelligence test, and personality test. Ang maka-administer lang ana is a licensed psychometrician, an RPM. You should get your license before you can give these types of tests. For projective test, personality test, individual man yan or group group siya na personality test or individualized intelligence test and projective test. This can only be administered by a psychologist. So, sila ang naay proper training in handling projective tests, especially the projective test and the ways the Stanford Binet, the major intelligence test. This cannot be administered by a psychometrician. So, kamo, if you don't have the license, you cannot give these types of tests. Okay? So, you should be an RPM first before you can give this psychological test. Level B types of test. Level C na itong mga projective test and major intelligence test. Okay. Now, case number 9. Let's Blessa read.
A 14-year-old seeks therapy for depression and requests that the sessions remain secret from her parents. The psychologist proceeds without obtaining parental or guardian consent.
So very obvious, informed consent for minors is important and should be signed by a parent or their guardian who is taking care of them. The risk here is legal exposure and breach of parental rights because the parents, if minors pa ilang anak, no, under the law, it's still their obligation. They cannot testify in court even if they are a minor. Lisod siya, no? Kay bata man gud ni sila. So dapat na naagi mo sign yun sa ilahag yun. Okay, so I guess this is very understandable. So now let's go to case number 10. Rain, please read the case.
So, a client sends a Facebook friend request to their psychologist. The psychologist accepts and occasionally likes the client's posts. Later, issues of jealousy and dependency emerge in therapy.
Okay, mo ni siya, no? This can happen, okay? This can happen. That's why I don't add students on my Facebook. Okay, so yeah, so can you share more about this? Why can this be an ethical issue? Liking post, Ana. Because of boundary violation and also the multiple relationships that it can happen that can happen or that can occur after during the time that you're giving service to your client. The risk can be therapeutic rupture and exploitation risk and blurred roles. So sa bagay friend baka or psychologist ka ni na client yun. So as much as possible, you should be objective because when you accept the friend request and mag-like ka sa post niya, friends na mo, quote and quote, sa Facebook, lisod siya kay mawalaan ng objectivity ba ang inyong relationship as client and psychologist, no? Mas okay man good na wala kay knowledge gyud sa hapon, you don't know the person, ana gyud para gyud walay subjectivity na mahitabo, walay biases. Okay? Okay, so ano siya? Okay, actually class, just to share with you, after you, let's say, pag umanin yung masters, no? Mag-masters mo psych. Then after yung masters of psych, pwede mo mag-choose og track pa ana. Either PsyD or PhD. Ang PsyD man good is Doctor of Psychology. This is a new trend ha sa karon. So this is for those who likes to have a professional track. So ako I choose the PsyD track rather than the PhD track. Ang PhD track man good more of academic track siya. Mas engage sila into research. Unlike PsyD, mas engage sila into clinical internship yun. Mas kumbaga 500 hours nga na gid. Mas experience based gid siya sa society. So mo ni siya ang subjects usually kapag mag-take ng Doctor of Psychology, no? So kana no, daghan pa mong track actually pag humanin yung BS Psych, no? You can take your masters or you can even go to law school or you can even go to med school or you can even pursue masters and take your doctoral degrees. So nana sa inyo ha, no? So mo to siya. So far, do you have questions?
Ano sir, question sir. Ano sir, sa Philippines sir, na-like sir, katong attract na doctor in counseling sir.
Yes, siya track pod. Napoy Doctor of Philosophy and Guidance and Counseling. Napoy Doctor of Counseling at ata to siya. Yeah, diretso siya Doctor of Counseling. RGC po to siya. Lahi po to siya na profession, RGC, no? Ang pwede nimo ma-take na license after nimo mag-masters ato, RGC. But basta as gid ang psychologist gid compared anang mga RGC na kitaan po nako, no? Mas ginapirmahan gid ang psych reports, ang psychologist lang ang pwede mo sign pod ana sa psych reports gid. Ano po siya Dave, lahi po siya na profession pod ang pero ano po sila, sister professions pod na sila. Kumbaga ano sila, related lang pod kayo sila pod sa practice pod. Sa school mo guna sila good, mostly gina butang sa school. Okay, questions? So katuhan na kapag delve the cases, I hope you've learned something from our discussion. So do you have any more questions or something you wish to clarify ba or unsa ba? At 12 ba ang isa ka klase nato, no? Ang ilampas na data. Okay, sige. All right. If there are no questions, thank you very much for your presence today. Just to remind you to answer the formative assessments. Ansiri lang siya, guys. Objective lamang po to siya. Mga 10 items lang to siya. Okay, within the week. Thank you so much and have a great day. Goodbye and God bless us all.
Thank you, sir.